So if you've ever wanted to know the difference between Caribbean and the Caribbean, Caribbean means, beaches and palm trees, and Caribbean means pirates. At least that's what this series has taught me. So Pirates of the Caribbean 5, Dead Man Tell No Tales. Aren't we so excited? I'll be honest, I have not been following this series as closely as Disney would like me to be following. I saw the first one, I loved it. Loved it. It defined my world in 2003. I was like, yes, this is awesome. And I was so excited for them to continue this. And then it came out with number 2 and I was like, what? I wasn't a fan of number 2. Number 3, even better than number 2, but still not okay with the whole ending part of that. And I was like, oh my gosh. By the time number 4 came around, I didn't even see it in theaters. Because I was like, it doesn't have Will and Elizabeth. I'm invested in them. Johnny Depp, okay, cool. But he's like, he doesn't change much throughout this whole thing. You don't really get to know anything about him or his story. And so I was just really annoyed with that whole thing. So no, I did not see that in theaters. In fact, I didn't see number 4 until this week when I was prepping for number 5. So, hey. But I will say that number 5, it's kind of like, how when you're watching all those other, 2 through 4, they threw all this information at you, thinking, you're hoping at some point in time they're gonna tie up these loose ends. And it kind of got to the point where 5 for me, I was like, yes, I'm finally getting closure. There's so many of these storylines that I was like, yes, I'm okay, we're good. I was extremely disappointed once again, the lack of Elizabeth and Will, but you got, anyway, yes, no spoilers, but I got a taste of them. Let's just say that. But I will tell you the things that I really liked about this movie. First off, the visuals were fantastic. I saw this in IMAX 3D, which honestly, if you're going to see this movie in theaters, it's not going to be for the story. The story was okay, but it didn't deliver as much as I wanted it to. There's a couple different things that I was like the Spaniard, who's the main antagonist, you didn't really get to know his motives, and you didn't really get to know any bit more about Jack Sparrow. I mean, you did to a point. You kind of learned about how he got his name-ish. Still have questions about that, but anyway. So there's just a lot of things that I wish they would have gotten deeper with. But at the same time, the visuals, once again, if you're going to see this movie, you see it in as big a screen as you possibly can. Because that in and of itself is just, it's just beautiful. There's so many cool shots on this. And I honestly think that if it is going to be nominated for any type of award later on, it's going to be for visual effects. The Spaniard, major bonus props for the 3D specs that kind of flew around his head as he walked by. I was like, good times. So I'll tell you the main things that caught my eye. One was the visuals. That was fantastic. Scoring was beautiful. Can go on any movie at any time and make it epic. This is just how that score is. Pirates of the Caribbean is one of my absolute favorite scores of all time. And so I was, once again, happy to see that relived in this one. And then so you got visuals were awesome. Score was fantastic. And then story, meh. I give it a meh. But all those considered, I would consider this a great movie to see in theaters once again. The last thing that caught my eye was definitely, and made me what? Was that post-credit scene. I was like, say what? Like I said, this whole movie, I thought I was getting closure. I was like, yes, so many good things happening. And then, what? Well, at least there's going to be a number 6. And I'm hoping that they're going to take all of these different things that have come around for the last 5 movies and tie up even more strings. Hopefully all of them in 6. And I really hope they don't go more than 6, because why would you do more than 6 movies? Okay. For example, in number 4, the mermaid guy, the mermaid and the guy, what's going to happen with them? Why are they even in there? And then there's just so many questions. So many questions. That's it. All right. Until next time, guys, my name is Chelsea Robson, and you are watching the Rotoscopers YouTube. Yo ho, a pirate's life for me. I really wonder how much money they spent to get Johnny Depp to come into the parks and, like, play himself during the ride. I bet it was a lot of money. There's a reason a man owns his own island. Cha-ching!